You are listening to the Bell Ringers podcast on Philly Sports Reports, brought to you by SeatGeek. Here are your hosts, Colin Daly and Benjamin Goldstein.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast. Colin Daly here with Benjamin Goldstein. And the Phillies, where we only know one game because the MLB likes to schedule things in a weird way, but the Phillies were rocking and rolling yesterday against the best team in the National League, maybe in baseball, Ben. And recently, the Phillies have been on a bit of a heater, taking 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. I'll tell you, Ben, the Phillies have been fun to watch over the past 5 games. It was a little shaky before that, and we are going to discuss a very bad series against the New York Mets, which was right after our last podcast. But since then, Phillies have turned it around. And I think that does tell you a lot about the character of this team, that they have a rough series and they're able to bounce back so quick. Worse than a rough series, but they are
Yeah,
able to bounce back so quickly. Do you agree with that, Ben?
I do. Their thing a few years ago was we are better when we get punched in the mouth. Then they proceeded to to score like one run over the next 3 games and to lose the NLCS. But anyway, yeah, that was bad in Citi Field. I mean, we before that series, we did a podcast and we were like, yeah, this needs to be a good series for the Phillies. Need to go out, need to win this series in Citi Field, and they got swept. And every single game was something different. There was offensive struggles. There was the pitching was horrible. There was defense. It was a different thing every game. They found every way to lose every single game, and it really was just
Yeah.
it was painful. But I mean, yeah, they bounced back against Atlanta. It took 3 or 4. Should have been a sweep, but the offense was stalemate Sunday night. And yeah, good first win over the Brewers on Monday afternoon. Fought back in that one, was down 5-1, ended up winning that game. So yeah, that's certainly encouraging to see when your team can bounce back after something like that. But that team that was in Citi Field could always come back and appear, which we seemingly always see when the lights are brightest. So I mean, right now it's good, but that team that we saw in Citi Field, it still exists, and it still could come out at any time.
For sure. And Ben, let's dive right into our talking points for today because you said it yourself that especially in game one against the Mets, there were things all over the place. You mentioned there was bad pitching, defense, the bad offense. Another thing is, I guess this falls under pitching, but the bullpen in particular was very bad in that game. Christopher Sanchez, I believe, started that first game on Monday, and he had he looked good for the first few innings, then imploded. Bullpen took over while the Phillies were still in the game, and they did not give the offense a chance for the last couple innings. Um, and yeah, finally, it only took until whatever that was, August 20 something, for there to finally be some consequence. So not long after that, we saw the Phillies just outright released Joe Ross. I don't even think that was preceded by a DFA. I believe the first thing that was released by the Phillies was Joe Ross has been released, which you don't see very often. And an IL stint for Jordan Romano, who has inflammation in his middle finger. I mean, from
Interesting.
what I understand, yeah, from what I understand, a lot of the Phillies fans have middle finger inflammation when he's pitching, so I guess that seems appropriate. Um,
You want to be a doctor. What is the inflammation of the middle finger, and how does that arouse?
well, that is like a legit thing that has affected some pitchers in the past. I don't know if that's the case for Romano. Um,
What is the combined ERA of those pitchers, and how many of
that is
them?
a really good question. I would imagine Romano falls right in the middle of that, um, because he has not been good. Um, and it does seem a little bit conveniently timed that he was put on the injured list right after. I think he allowed 4 runs that game. There was a 3-run home run that somebody hit. I don't remember who it was. I think he allowed
I
another
mean,
run in there
it
too.
really just
So
seems like when you enter Romano into a baseball game, you're just waving the white flag. At least that's what it seemed like for the majority of this 2025 season, except for maybe a couple weeks in like May, June, maybe. But yeah, I mean, my thing is, you got Joe Ross. Well, Romano's going to come back. He's on the 15-day IL. There is a chance we see him again. But wouldn't you rather have a guy Joe Ross isn't very good, but he can go multiple innings. Romano can't go multiple innings. What's the point of keeping him around on the 40-man roster when he can't go those multiple innings? Where
That's a
Ross,
good question.
Ross is not good, and he was not good all year. But he can go multiple innings. He provides some sort of value that can, save some guys in your bullpen. You might be down a ton, but you got a guy that can go in for multiple innings, and it might get worse. But you're saving arms, and that's really what's most important when you're losing 19 or whatever, like they were in Citi Field that night. So that's my thought is why DFA Ross when he has some value rather than Romano who provides zero value.
That's true. That's a good point. And, I was thinking about it. They're really like we've had some very bad Phillies bullpens. 2020, 2021, they were just abhorrent years for the Phillies when it came to their relievers. Now, of course, collectively, the bullpen right now isn't awful by any means, and they have a lot of good relievers in there. Whereas the ones years ago, I mean, there wasn't anybody the Phillies could put in there. But if we're looking at just at individual pitchers, I don't actually think anyone has been as bad as Romano for as long as he was since we've been watching the Phillies. Statistically, I know that's the truth. I'm just trying to like think of players that I remember. I mean, there were guys who came in and allowed runs a lot, but none of them stuck around for as long as Romano did.
Yeah, I
And I don't
mean,
know why.
it's because of because he's under contract for the year.
I mean, those guys were under a contract. It might not have been with as much value as Romano's. I keep wanting to say was, but truthfully, as much as Romano's is, because he still is on the 40-man roster, part of the team in the dugout watching the games with his inflamed middle finger. Um, but I really don't get it, like why he stuck around for so long.
I don't got a good answer for you.
Well, I don't. There's only one person who has an answer. I doubt it's a very good one. That's the Phillies front office. So, which we're probably never going to know. And that might be
Yeah,
that might be a good thing.
we'll probably never get that answer. I can't just I don't know about you. I can't just call. I don't have David Dombrowski's phone number. Just call him up.
No,
So
I don't either.
you might. I'm not sure, but kind of people.
No, we're more on like emailing terms. We haven't gotten to the
Okay.
texting,
Okay.
calling
You
stage
hit a
yet.
little D Dombrowski at Phillies.com. Hey,
There you go.
why the heck was Romano around for so long? I'm trying to talk about it on my
Yeah.
podcast. And I'll
D
give
down
you
boat
I may give you an
Phils.net.
answer. Phillies.net, Phillies.com. Unless there's a
I
different.
bet they're a net. I don't know why. They just seem
Well, I
like the
mean,
type.
I
Unless
don't
you
know.
know they're a .com. I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at Phillies.com right now. So
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. I guess it is associated with the
unless they
website
have
URL.
some secretive.
Secret website.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, we talked about the bullpen. Let's talk about one of the additions that was made recently in the other September call up. We'll start with, like I said, the bullpen. Tim Mesa. Phillies snagged him just a couple of days ago. He's kind of bounced around a lot. He did make his first appearance with the Phillies. Let's give him a round of applause. A scoreless inning. Can't remember the last time that's happened with a Phillies relief pitcher. Um, and I'll tell you, this guy has been all over the place. Had a ridiculous year for the Blue Jays in 2023, and then just has not done anything since then. Had some injuries this year, was just really, really bad last year, pretty much everywhere he was. So the first half of the year in Toronto, the second half of the year with the Yankees, and it was whatever the opposite of the smoothest of sailing was because he was terrible. He had an 8.03 ERA in 35 um, appearances with Toronto, and then a 4 ERA in 15 with the Yankees. He did make a couple of appearances with the Pirates this season. He allowed what is it, 3 runs in 9 and a third innings, so not terrible there. Um, but definitely does not compare to his 2023 with the Blue Jays, where he had a 1.52 ERA in 53 and a third innings, um, and struck out 53 batters. Definitely not comparable there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know it's there.
Yeah,
I
it's
saw this
true.
video a couple. Like I
Oh,
saw
he's
some
nasty.
tape. Yeah, some tape. I mean, he's got some good stuff. Has gotten some old there's some old videos when he was with Toronto. I think it was in 23 of him striking out some Phillies guys. When the pitch clock first came around, he got Brandon Nimmo to strike out on a pitch clock violation. So there was some good stuff there. I mean, it's there. Looked pretty good in his first appearance with the Phillies, and Phillies won't really have a ton of left-handed guys for the playoffs. Considering that you're not going to have Jose Alvarado at that time. So hopefully Meza will be able to step up and give them something that they can use in those middle innings. I mean, it's really just Tanner Banks, and that's it.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
hopefully Meza will be able to provide some of that left-handed stuff. Kind of a wild card. Low risk, high reward by the Phillies. So I'm not can't be angry about it. But
No.
we'll see. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly makes a lot of sense. It's like you said, it's low risk, and the ceiling is really as high as Mesa wants it to be. Um, and I guess while we're on the topic, the Phillies made the same day, actually, another splash move, and this one with a name that we're all probably a little bit more familiar with. That's Walker Bueller, former two-time All-Star with the Dodgers. Someone should fact check that, because I do not have his page pulled up. Um, but I believe he was a two or three, I think two-time All-Star with the Dodgers. Great starting pitcher, historically successful in the postseason. But ever since his injury in 2023, I believe,
Yes.
he
Yes.
has been really struggling. He spent a year with the Dodgers, another year with the Red Sox. This year, his ERA was a whopping 5.45 in 22 starts. The year prior, 5.38. So he has just not been able to find it ever since ever since his surgery that he had that sidelined him in 2023.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got it right on the perfect. Two-time All-Star, 2019 and 2021. So maybe if there wasn't that shortened season 2020, he would have three consecutive All-Star appearances. I mean, 2021 was his best year, 2.47 ERA, 33 starts, the most in major leagues, high in the major leagues as well, ERA plus that year with 171. But this year just not good. You mentioned 22 starts, 7-7, 5.45 ERA, 1.56 WHIP, 84 Ks, 112 in the third. Just not. He hasn't. It's not there anymore. That injury in 2023 really has kind of derailed what could have been a very good career from Walker Bueller. But what's most important is his postseason, his career playoff ERA is 3.04. And he didn't allow a single run in last year's postseason when he pitched. What do we got here? He threw 6 innings,
Wow.
and they were all on the back end of games. So he closed out Game 5, which was the winner for the Dodgers at Yankee Stadium. And yeah, so 3.04 postseason ERA. That's what really matters right there. And he can go in your bullpen in the playoffs. Could even maybe start a game in the playoffs if he's performing well. This this brings me back to like 2022 Noah Syndergaard stuff. It's like let me get a
Oh my
washed
God.
starter.
Kyle
That was
Gibson the year
once
before.
really good for a very good National League team. And we'll bring them in, see what we can get. Syndergaard was pretty good for the Phillies, so so Bueller will have a start with Lehigh Valley this week. I think the 6th. So when would that be? That would be, I
Believe
believe
that
it's the
is
6th, which
Saturday.
is Saturday. And then he's making his first start with the Phillies on Friday, September 12th against the Kansas City Royals at Citizens Bank Park after a huge 4-game series against the New York Mets. So another low risk, high reward.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, now a couple things to know with Bueller. I think the most promising thing you were talking about his playoff ERA isn't necessarily that 3.04 that you mentioned, but it was the 6 scoreless innings that he pitched last year post surgery, which is huge. Also, that was his, so he had the injury that sidelined him in 2023 dated back to 2022. It was actually August of 22 when he had that his second Tommy John surgery. I did not realize that until just now that he had one prior. Um, so definitely that explains why the recovery took so long. And I mean, usually you see that guys, it takes them about 1 year to get back into the swing of things after Tommy John surgery. Funny you mention it because I remember that was a conversation we were having years ago when Noah Syndergaard was the guy the Phillies picked up, and that guys typically need a year. And for Noah Syndergaard, when the Phillies got him, they were around that 1 year mark of his return. Um, I believe it was like the middle of his second season. He came back a little bit delayed that second season or that first season. So we were right about that 1 year mark since his return. And while Syndergaard wasn't perfect, he definitely had his moments. So hopefully we can see the same thing out of Bueller. Obviously, the circumstances are a little bit different with it. Bueller it's his second surgery. He struggled a little bit more for a little bit longer. Um, However, he does have a sub 4 ERA in his his last 7 starts before the Red Sox before they canned him. So maybe there's something there. But like you said, it's a low risk and the ceiling is high. So
Yeah, I mean, two of those where it's low risk, high reward, and you look at those playoff numbers. 6 scoreless last year, 2024 didn't allow a run in 4 innings. Had a so or no, excuse me, I completely read this wrong. World Series, he had 6 innings, no runs. NLCS, he had 4 innings, no runs.
oh wow.
So
So 10
that right
scoreless innings
there,
is
there's
huge.
10 straight innings without allowing a run in the NLCS or DS. He had a very or World Series. He did not have a good NLDS. I don't like how it's laid out on baseball reference because it has all the years at the top, and then the bottom it just has 2024, but it has the 3 rounds. It doesn't have it
Oh,
together.
that's so bizarre.
Yeah. Oh, you know
That
what it
doesn't
is?
make
It's
sense.
every round. Oh, here you go. 2018. Okay. This is strange. I don't like this.
You're
Anyway,
confusing me, so
yeah. So
I'm
he
sure it's
10
confusing.
innings, 10 innings, 10 straight innings from the CS to the World Series, no runs.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, that
It is.
is you can't make the comparison, of course, but Zach Wheeler is one of the best Phillies playoff pitchers we've seen since the Phillies returned in 2022. Bueller isn't going to be Zach Wheeler, but if we can get a tiny bit closer to filling that void, then I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean anything will help because you're never gonna get a Zach Wheeler.
No,
Um,
never.
but you can hopefully get a good Walker Bueller in your bullpen.
Yeah.
And only
Well, we
help
talked
because the
about
bullpen has not been so hot recently, Colin.
Yeah, we are going to talk about that. The one thing we did skip over, though, is the Phillies got their 2 pitchers. They're also getting a catcher. Garrett Stubbs was recalled from AAA. I'm so surprised you wanted to move on to our next talking point without talking about the stubber. The hype man himself, Garrett Stubbs, is back from Lehigh Valley. We already heard his playlist is getting played in the clubhouse. Folks, he's back. I'll tell you, he was interviewed in the clubhouse. He was very open and honest about his time in AAA. He appreciated getting the consistent at bats, working with the young pitching staff. So hopefully he can kind of bring that expertise to some of the younger guys in the Phillies as well, and just be a voice in the clubhouse, a leader. We all wanted him here for his vibes, and now we have him. So I hope the Phillies can take advantage of him.
Yeah, I mean, for everyone that's super excited for Stubbs to be back, yeah, hooray! He's not, he's
Yeah,
not going to play very often at all. He may pinch run for you now and then, but Phillies are going to carry 3 catchers for the rest of the year.
do you think he's going to catch?
No,
Me neither. Who's
I
going to
do
make
not.
the
I do
playoff
not think
roster? That's the real
unless there was
question.
the only circumstance in which she would catch is if Marshawn is starting and JT pinch hits, then Stubbs would come to the
Oh, well, that does give them some flexibility though,
yeah, and
which is nice.
that's why they're carrying the 3 catchers and that's all that stuff. Also, you need the vibes as well.
Yeah.
You always need vibes. I don't care who you are. You need some sort of vibes to kickstart you in a kind of playoff run or something. But you gotta at least play a little bit or play well to have some sort of vibes with you. 265 average, 264 at bats in AAA, 754 OPS. He wasn't not the worst I've ever seen, but certainly
I
not
mean,
great.
granted, Rafael Marchand's hitting 186 at the big league level, so
Well, yeah, it
what are you
really
missing?
he's a yeah yeah. It's your backup catchers aren't your catching depth in the organization is
It's
very bad.
trash. Yeah, we
It's
can say
terrible. It
it.
is straight up horrible. But here's my question: what direction do the Phillies go in the playoffs? Do they bring Marchand onto
Uh,
the playoff roster for that catching depth, or do they keep Garrett Stubbs on the roster, even though he's probably not going to play, but you get the vibes?
no, they are not keeping Stubbs. They won't carry more than 2 catchers. End of story.
So Marchand or Stubbs for your playoff roster.
It depends on who is better over the next month.
But it doesn't matter because they're not going to play in the playoffs anyway.
I think. Well, you don't know that.
Marchand is not starting in a playoff game. Let's be real here.
Ooh, he could. He could.
I don't think so.
You say that now until something bad happens and
All right,
we
well,
end
let's
up
not
needing a catcher.
fantasize and manifest
I'm
it.
just saying, you don't want to put a catcher on a team because you like him more, and then he ends up being the only option you have.
You know
That's
how
when
I
things
feel
get
about Garrett
dicey.
Stubbs' baseball abilities. I'm just saying, I think
Yeah,
the Phillies will carry Stubbs because he has vibes, which is not the answer. Or can they just keep him around even though he's not on the roster?
that's way above our
I don't know if that's
pay
allowed.
grade.
I don't know if
Way
that's
above our
allowed.
pay grade.
They give him a
Maybe that
special they give him this special role, like he's like the chief executive manager.
spirit officer.
He's like the assistant of the assistant manager's bench coach.
I mean, they could just give him a job on the Phillies. Like he could be like the guy who delivers the beers when they win, or I'm sure they need like a couple janitors, right? Scrub the lockers.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't
can.
even have to scrub the locker, he just needs to have the credential that says he scrubs the lockers, and they let him in the door.
I
It's a
think they're
little
just gonna let him.
humiliating,
I
but
think they'll just let him in the door anyway.
they should. I hope they do. Or he'll make the roster. I mean, if he comes up here and he's hitting, even if he only gets 5, 10 at bats, it's not going to take a lot to prove that you're the guy who should be should be the backup catcher in the playoffs. Because
Is he
neither
even gonna
one of
get the
them has
opportunity though?
impressed.
What if he doesn't even
I
get that
think so.
opportunity?
No, he will. Usually the third string, if I remember from past years when they've called up a third catcher, usually gets a game or two in September. I think Marchand got called up 2 years ago, if I remember correctly, maybe three, and I think it was three, and I think they gave him a game or two, if I remember. So I think there's a chance.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I can look. I have his page up. Let's see. Yeah, 2021. He had 52 at bats, 12 hits. He hit 231. I don't know where to see. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so he got called up. Marshawn did. September, he started. Must have been when JT was hurt because he started the second, the third, the seventh, and the ninth,
What year is this?
2021. So he
I
started
this may have been
four
like
games.
JT was playing first base or something. Like somebody might Reese was hurt in 2021.
Ah, that's right.
So they carried that another catcher because JT was playing games at first base.
Oh
I don't
God, I
know
just
how
clicked
I
on the.
remember. How do I remember
Yeah,
that?
I don't know, but I just clicked on on like the how when you're looking at game logs you can click on the date and it'll pull up the box score. This is terrifying.
Oh no.
Herrera, Segura, Harper, Real Muto, McCutcheon, Torreyes, Miller, Galvis, Marchand, Nola, Falter, De Los Santos, Hammer. Remember JD Hammer with the glasses? Matt
Yep.
Vierling, Sam Coonrod, Nick Maton, Archie Bradley, Ian Kennedy. And you know what the crazy thing is? Quietly, the back end of that bullpen was a little bit nasty at the time. JD Hammer had a 1.56 ERA. Coonrod had a 3.86. Archie Bradley had a 3.38. Ian Kennedy had a 3.32 with his 22nd save of the season. The Phillies were second in the NL East at the time, 5 games over 500.
Then they finished that year.
Awfully.
Yeah, I think they finished above 500 that year.
I think they were 82 and 80, if I remember.
That was like the first year in a long time. Yeah, that team was that team needed to win one game in Atlanta.
82 and 80.
They needed to win one game in Atlanta and then like 2 games in Miami to clinch the NL East. You know how many games they won in Atlanta? They got swept. And the Braves
Checks
won
out, though.
that was terrible. Bryce Harper had a horrible series and that was a rough series.
All right, well, we talked about it a little bit, but let's talk about the bullpen some more.
Speaking about something that's rough.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, God. Um, Alvarado and Kirkwood, they've been struggling recently. What is going on, Ben? What's happening?
Jose Alvarado isn't taking his PEDs anymore.
Yeah, you could make an argument. I mean, he
No,
has not been.
that might just have something to do with it, but I'm not gonna
No,
I'm not gonna
we
say
can't
that.
speculate that, but
No, I mean over his last 5 innings, he's a 5.4 ERA. He allowed the homer against the Braves on Sunday night to lose the game, and it's like it's just he was out of baseball for a couple months. And he's just kind of leaving stuff over the plate. Like the fastball doesn't really have the zip that it used to. And I mean, it's still high heat, but it's just not, he's not blowing it by guys anymore and then the off speed's being left over the plate. It's just hittable stuff from Alvarado now. And certainly cannot have him pitch late in games. Definitely, absolutely cannot have Jose Alvarado after the eighth, like after the 7th inning, you could not have Jose Alvarado in the game. Just
yeah, I
can't.
agree. That he's certainly on the struggle bus. Orion Kirkwood, he is one lucky guy. He always gets put in spots where he allows a run, but they're not his own runners; they're inherited. And he
How many
seems to get
runs? He
away
loves
sneakily.
every single one of those runs. He loves scoring other people's runs.
He does, or he'll start an inning, he'll struggle, and then get pulled, and then someone will get him out of it. His ERA is a little deceiving. It's hovering around 3. I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
It should be
Three
much higher.
sixteen.
If you look,
It should be much
look
higher.
at, look at. Does it say my computer slow? Does it just see like his runs, not the earned runs?
Oh, that more has to do with with errors, not inherited runners. But hold on, you can get his xERA.
Okay, how many? Where's I can't scroll. Michael's spinning.
Yeah, his xERA would be 3.68, which is pretty crazy. Now, I
Yeah,
mean, you can't completely fault him. He does have some ridiculous qualities. I mean, his average exit velocity is in the 98th percentile. So he's missing bats. He's missing barrels, you should say. He has good fastball velocity. His hard hit percentage, his barrel percentage are all in the 90th percentile or higher. So he certainly has the stuff, but he just has not seemed to control it well this year by any means.
I always get an uneasy feeling when Orion's out there. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It's just like you get that feeling like this isn't
No,
gonna be good. And I've had
tell me
that for
about
the
it.
last like year with him. It's just like I don't know. It's a weird like uneasy
Yeah.
feeling. He was so good when he was a rookie. Now it's just he's only
Yeah.
24
Right.
years old. It's
Right. And I think a lot of his issues are fixable. He has time to figure out how to command his strike zones better. You know, how to get a feel for his pitches, when to throw what, how to get comfortable with all of his pitches. So I'm not really worried about Kirkering, but he
I'm not worried
definitely
about his future. I'm worried about
right. That's what
his
I'm saying.
present.
I'm worried about the now.
Um,
Yeah.
which is when you got a team that needs to win this year, you need to worry about it. But uh, I want to trust him. I just can't, especially when you got runners on.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and you said it before. It seems like the only guy we can really trust right now, other than Duran, is Tanner Banks, and you can't pitch him every inning. So I think you have to keep going to him. I mean, David Robertson has been bad yesterday, or not yesterday. It was 2 days ago, I think. Wasn't great, but
Sunday he was missing the strike zone.
yeah,
Monday his outing Monday wasn't bad, but it was like they was didn't start off well. But yeah, I
but
mean,
again,
we'll
I think he's still
yeah.
fine. I mean, you have to remember he didn't pitch for the first 4 months, so
Oh,
I
I'm
think a
not
little
worried
bit of that
about.
is too
I'm not worried.
expected.
Well, how could I be worried about 40-year-old
Yeah, seriously, he's in there
David?
for vibes. Come on,
40. You talk about a
whatever he
vibes.
can give you, you appreciate.
It's like when you got like an old like you're playing 5-on-5 pickup basketball, and though your fifth guy didn't come, you pick up like this guy off the street or whatever, and it's just
Yeah,
whatever he can give you, you're gonna take it. Like
it's
it's
like
not all gonna be good, but whatever it is, you're gonna be like, you know what, man, good stuff.
have you been watching Venus Williams's little run in the U.S. Open this year?
I've not been paying attention to the U.S. Open
Oh
this
my
year.
goodness.
I have heard that Venus
45,
is
yeah, 45-year-old Venus Williams came back because she wanted the insurance benefits. Um, and she's made it to, I think, the fourth round of the women's doubles. Um, and she won her first ATP single or first WTA singles match in like 3 years, something crazy. I don't remember. 'Cause it was just she woke up one morning, she's like, I'm gonna start training again. So
it's the year of
gotta
the
give it
40s,
credit.
I guess.
I guess so. All
If
right, I
you're
don't
if
want to
you're
keep
watching
dwelling.
this and you're in
Oh,
your 40s,
shout out
something
to
good.
you.
Yeah, shout out to you. Something good's gonna happen athletically.
Oh yeah,
Maybe you should go. Maybe you should go to the street and play some 5-on-5 basketball games. Ask him if
yeah.
anyone needs a fifth. You'll.
Midlife crisis turned to midlife peak.
There you
That's what they're
go.
saying these days.
Another guy who's not 40 years old is Matt Strom has not been particularly
Yeah.
appealing to the eyes.
Again, his numbers recently haven't been terrible, but he hasn't looked good out there. I don't know why. Um, like a lot of inherited runners, a lot of bad pitches, not throwing strikes, Actually, I shouldn't even say not throwing strikes, leaving stuff out over the plate. Um, kind of a combination of everything, which isn't great to see
I feel
from
like that dude
a guy
allows
that
a
we've had a
homer every
ton of.
time he's out there.
Yeah, and he's been a guy that we've been able to have trust in for a long 3 years now. and it seems like it's starting to fade away, which is not great. Um, anyway, Ben, I don't want to keep dwelling on all the negatives here, but we kind of have an outfield situation too. Because the Phillies quietly have three good outfielders, a left fielder, a center fielder, and a right fielder, and none of them are named the $20 million man, Nick Castellanos.
Who is this
What do we
third
do
good
about
player you
that?
speak of?
Max Kepler has been okay recently.
Yeah, I guess 240 average over his last 7. Yeah, you know.
He's been better than
Nick
Castellanos.
Castellanos sucks. He's
Yeah,
bad. I've been
yeah.
saying this for a long time.
We both have been saying this since we
Look at
signed
his
him.
last 7 games.
His
95 average. His batting
his
average is
season
95.
OPS is under 700.
Yeah, it's 697. That's
It's terrible.
yeah, I mean, his only defense was for a while is that he's hitting above average. He's hitting 251 on the season. His on base percentage is 295, which is abysmal if you don't know
Yeah.
statistics like that. And a 697 OPS, which is also really bad. And he can't play. He can't play defense.
Nope. He thinks he can, but he
he,
can't.
he provides zero value. Nick Castellanos provides zero value. Look at me in the eyes. Nick Castellanos has a negative WAR, and he's had it all year. That guy is not a good baseball player. He's a losing baseball player. And if you want to give me that he's a good teammate. No, after the game where he got pulled in the 9th inning, you know what he said? Yes, when it was asked him if it was frustrating, he goes, "Yes." Just like that, he goes, "Yes."
I am right there with you, Ben.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
yes, it
you've
should.
got
Yes, it
guys
is
who are doing their
frustrating to get
jobs
pulled out
out
of the game.
there.
It is frustrating to get pulled out of the game. But if you're not understanding why you're getting pulled out of the game, that is the issue. I don't care that you've always been an everyday player. You're not good. You're not as good as you once were. I'm sorry. This is how things evolve. Typically, with age, unless your name is like Kyle Schwarber, you get worse. And he's not a good defense. He's not good in the right field. You might say, "Oh, look at his errors. He has no errors this year." That's because he's not getting to the ball. He's not fast enough to get to that ball. He has the worst range in baseball. He's not getting to the ball to make that said error. He's just letting it fall. A lot of these balls in right field there could be a better play made on it, but it's not because Castellanos is slow. And he's a horrible hitter. He has no value. There's no value for him on this team. And it's unfortunate because he's getting paid a ton of money, but he has no value. He provides zero value for the Philadelphia Phillies. And I don't know what you do because you got to play him.
No. Who says that? Max Kepler's hitting 283 with a 509 slugging percentage in his last 15 games. Brandon Marsh and Harrison Bader are both hitting over 300 in the month of August.
Bader
Why do you
is
still have
hitting
to play?
400 over his last 15.
Those are your three guys.
Those sound like everyday players.
They are right now. They are everyday players. There's no reason to put Castellanos in there. He is not going to be productive offensively or productive. Right now, he is the worst offensive player of the 4 and the worst defensive player of the 4. I cannot think of a good reason to let him touch the grass.
I'm on board. I don't have any sort of, rebuttal to defend Castellanos and his -1 WAR. But it's just if you don't put him out there seems to be turmoil. And Rob Thompson is a guy who's scared of turmoil because everything needs to be like this. Everything's the same. Everything is zen. So I don't know. I don't know why I keep playing it, but you're kind of committed to it. So and hopefully his numbers can get better by the end of the year, and he provides something in the playoffs so he can get traded. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kepler is like he's fine. Like this is what they should be doing. Brandon Marsh should be playing in left field every single day. Harrison Bader should be playing in center field every single day. He has been amazing. Kepler and Castellanos for the month of September should be platooning in right field because they are both.
Bingo.
They're both. Say it with me. Mid. So you have Kepler against the right-handers, Castellanos against the left-handers. If you like the certain matchup, you play one of them. It's
From
just
your mouth to God's
it's
ears.
just
To
like
Rob Thompson's ears,
it is
really.
not that difficult to figure out. I am 17 years old sitting in my basement and I can figure it out. Like it is not that difficult. So I mean I don't have the statistical numbers, but like this guy sucks, don't play him. And I can't tell you one time other than like 2 games in 2023 where he was really good. He's always been just a slightly above average hitter with horrible defense, except for some reason the 2022 postseason where he was incredible out in right field. But
But
that's
every
really the
other
only
guy
play he
would have
can make.
gotten those balls on his feet, so does it really matter? Oh,
He's not,
95, Ben. That should be the title of the episode today. Oh, 95. Just 095.
negative
No
one
other
more.
context needed. Yeah, that's what it should be. That's what it should be.
2022, negative 0.1 war.
Oh,
Last year 0.8.
great. He won us less than a whole game. Love that for him.
Other than 2023, where he was an all-star, he's been a negative player. So I don't know how much if you have a negative war, you should not be playing every day. If you're not a winning baseball player, you should not be playing.
We should put Liam in right field instead.
Castellanos obviously is not a winning player. Yeah, I get Liam. I guess Castellanos. I guess he's a good dad, but not a good baseball player.
At least he's got something going for him.
Yeah, that's really the most important thing if you're a good dad. So. But no, he's not.
Ben. I'm getting
off my tangent. I'm done with my Castellanos tangent. Hopefully, he turns it.
We could be here forever, though. It is a fun one to go on.
He might be one of my. He is one of my least favorite Phillies of all time.
Really?
I hate him. He's just so snobby. Like,
honestly, I'm kind of with you. I don't know if there's anyone else that I. Yeah, I mean, he might be mine as well. I feel like there has to be someone that I dislike more, but
I mean, I don't know. I specifically do not like Odubel Herrera.
Well, that's understandable. I hope no one condones what he did, but I'm gonna get back to you on that for our next. I'm writing it down.
All right.
Wait, didn't I write down something for the next episode? Oh, that was for the off season.
Heath Hembree. All right.
He was just there though. He didn't last long. He was a trade deadline.
Brandon Workman.
So was he.
All right.
They were all trade deadline guys.
Phillies schedule for the next. I guess for the next week and a half. They continue their road trip. They pick up this Brewers series Wednesday night, and then Thursday at 4:10. What a bizarre time to start a game on a Thursday. They go to Miami for a 3-game series, and then they return home and look at this. They play the New York Mets again for 4 games. And then they host the Kansas City Royals for another 4. If you're wondering, there's nothing really fun, no real fun giveaways for that homestand. And then they travel to Los Angeles. We'll pod before that. So, Colin, you got 2 against the Brewers, 3 against the Marlins. That's 5. 4 against the Mets. That's 9. And then 3 against the Royals. That's 12. And then if you want to add the 3 against the Dodgers, that's 15 straight games without an off day. You're flying over that span 3 times, and one of those you're going from Philadelphia to Los Angeles. This should be fun. What do you got for the next 12?
Seven and 5. They've got some tough opponents in there. Mets always play well against them. Dodgers are a good team. Royals are kind of figuring it out this year. Marlins should be 2 wins at least. Sorry, at least 2 wins, hopefully 3. But I think the Phillies are going to go 7 and 5. Not great, not bad, but they play well.
I'm going to 100% agree with you on 7 and 5.
Thank you, Ben. Well, what's their worst series going to be?
They're going to split the Mets series.
Oh, all right.
And then they'll
That's a hot
win.
take.
They'll win all the other series. Like the Brewers, they'll split. Marlins, they'll win. Mets, they'll split. Royals, they'll win. And then they could be clinching the NL East. Well, they could clinch a playoff spot by that Royals series. And then NL East could be on the line in the West Coast, and then they'll try and get that bye for their last 6 at home against the Marlins and Twins. So we'll see.
We will see. We will see. Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Brewers, they'll split these next two. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm pretty much on board with you. I think they're just gonna kind of keep rolling here, winning what they should win, and on the tougher series, around 500. Kind of seems where we're at right now. We're kind of at we're on like the middle of the roller coaster. It seems like.
Yeah, and then they
Not
better,
really going up, not really going down.
and after this, they better be picking that thing up, so I can be waving this rally
Oh
towel
yeah,
on this pod.
they do have a nice schedule the last 3 series of the year. I think we talked about this in one of our past episodes, but D-backs, Marlins, and Twins should be some big wins in there. I think they should get 7 out of those 9.
Oh yes, and you'll have Schwarber going for possibly a home run record for the Phillies. He's at 49 right now. He needs 10 over the next month, which is going to be difficult. But I mean, you got games almost every day. You only have 3 off days, including Tuesday. You have 3 off days this month, so you got a lot of baseball to play. So a lot of big series. You got this Marlins series is a good series for the Phillies to build some ground. Mets 4-game series. You could flush away the NL East. Royals is Dodgers. That could be a game for 2nd or 3rd place in the National League. Diamondbacks stink, Marlins stink, Twins stink. So that's a weird team to end the season on, the Twins. But
AAA team traded everybody.
it's true.
Phillies could face Mick Abel. That would be fun. If he's still on their major league roster at that point, because he has been bad since going in Minnesota. So we'll see.
Well, we got to thank SeatGeek first. If you want to get out to one of these games, go to SeatGeek, download the app. Link is in the description. You're going to use code Phillies Sports Report. You're going to save $20 off for a SeatGeek purchase. You will spell it PHILLYSPORTSREPORT. You will.
Oh, yes, Ben. Just chuck it in Minnesota. Nothing's happening there. We'll leave it behind at the end of the season.
And you will save $20 off for a SeatGeek purchase. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this podcast. And they are also sponsoring the Eagles pregame shows, which are returning. First game is on Thursday night against the Cowboys. So make sure you tune in to Philly Sports Report's YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to catch the stream with me and Matt Brown. And we will be live
this week, Ben.
They are home. They are
okay.
Thursday night. And then I got Senior
Against,
Sunrise next
Dallas.
morning.
It was.
Yeah, and then I got Senior Sunrise the next morning.
Oh,
so that's
so do I. I don't know. We'll see what time I get there.
That's going to be terrible. But
do the seniors at your school have a little cult hangout in the parking lot the first day of school?
I don't know, because we're all spread out in 3 parking lots. If there is, I probably will not be partaking.
I will not be in attendance either.
I mean, there might be something going on. I don't think so. I remember last year when I parked for the first time, I just saw them, some people were taking pictures, and then I just kind of.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is at my school.
Yeah, I don't
also carpool with a junior and a sophomore, so I don't think they're interested in the senior activity.
They don't want to take any pictures with the seniors.
No, that's weird.
All right. Thank you all for watching this thing. We'll see you next episode.
Go Phils.
This has been the Bell Ringers podcast on Philly Sports Reports, brought to you by SeatGeek. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Philly Sports Reports wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Follow the podcast on X and PSR on all social media. Also, consider leaving a review. Catch Colin and Benjamin's writing on PhillySportsReports.com, along with following both on X. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring the show.